The Gemara says, also it's referring to those that think that Judaism is like Christianity and go and proselytize. Misfortune after misfortune shall come upon those who accept converts. What does he mean? What do you mean, those who accept converts? Converts are a great thing. So we have a whole book that Rav Ephraim wrote about the high level that converts stand on. But this is not talking about those people. This is not talking about the righteous converts. This is talking about the person that missionizes, such as ASHER MEZA, Shem Reshaim Yirkav, and his group of heretics that don't want to follow Da'at Torah. Why? They think that Judaism should be promoting itself. Same way that Christianity is. Proselytize, go, convince people to convert. Gemara says, no, you're not supposed to proselytize. You're not supposed to proselytize. Why? As Rabbi Chelbo says, converts are as harmful to Israel as sapachat is on the skin. What does that mean? When a person proselytizes and actively attempts to convince non-Jews to convert to Judaism, he's accepting upon himself these converts without trying to dissuade them from converting as required by the halakha. If the potential convert comes to you on his own and demonstrates firm and sincere desire to convert, we accept him. In fact, refusing such a person, the Tosfot says, refusing a sincere convert deserves a punishment from heaven. We even know that the Midrash says the Avot, Avraham and Yitzchak, got punished when they refused to convert Timnah. She ended up marrying the son of Esav, who brought Amalek to the world. So there's obviously, the converts are a very big deal in the Torah. And we have 36 different places in the Torah where HaKadosh Baruch Hu says that you have to, love the converts. You have to be careful with them. You have to not play games with them. People that play games with converts, where they put pressure on them, they try to fool them, or they do fool them, they cheat them, they lie to them, pretty much they guarantee themselves that they're going to get punished both in this world and the next. Why? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, if I hear the convert cry, I'm going to take my sword and kill you. He doesn't say that about a regular typical Jew, but it does say it about a convert. So if the Torah says that there's so much love and protection on the convert by HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself in 36 different places, mentioned more about the convert than anything else in the Torah, how come the Chachamim are saying that the convert are as harmful to Israel as a sapachat? Sapachat is like a skin disease. It's a form of tzarat. It's a skin disease. How could they say this when the Torah says something opposite? We're not saying that the converts are bad. We're saying the converts that are not good converts. The converts that are not genuine. The converts that are converting for the wrong reason. The converts that are converting just because they don't want to hear the headache from the family. They don't want to hear the headache from their community. That's why they convert. They go to some Rasha, like a Aminov or a MEZA, that convert just for. Aminov converts for money. MEZA converts for his own form of heresy and ego. The two make a perfect match. Perhaps a shidduch made in Gehenom. But nonetheless, there are certain people that convert, not for the right reason, not because they really want to be Jews, but rather they want the image of a Jew, the exterior of a Jew. They want people to think that they're a Jew. They want to believe themselves that they're a Jew, even though they have no interest whatsoever in actually being a Jew, because they don't even understand what a Jew is to begin with. Such a convert creates a lot of problems for Am Yisrael. Entire Erev Rav were fake converts. A person like MEZA says that the Erev Rav were high society, good people, the best of the best. Reality, they were the worst of the worst. Yes, there were people that came from Egypt, some of which were successful people, but no one is really gonna personify them as the good part of converts. Everyone has repeatedly shown that these Erev Rav were the ones that have led us to go against Hashem many times, and in fact, they are part of Amalek. This Erev Rav is part of Amalek. These fake converts are part of Amalek. People that make fake converts are in essence breeding more Amalek into the world. So, how do you know the difference between a righteous convert and a fake convert? Very simple. Do they have Yirat Shamayim? Do they have fear of heaven? Do they have fear of heaven? Now, before you get to know the convert, and whether he has fear of heaven, you see, did this convert come on his own? I want to convert, I want to be a Jew, I want to learn everything and do everything. Or did somebody tell them, listen, you want to convert? No problem. How much money you have in the bank? Okay, that's enough, we'll take that. If that's the reason, if they converted because they could afford it, if they converted because it was made so easy that they figured, you know what do I need to do? Just get in the car, drive for 3-4 hours, go to a beach, jump into the ocean, come out, and then say, I'm a convert? Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, but what about halacha? What about, anything, community? No. That you don't need. Convert like that, Rabotay Karim, we don't need. And in fact, we don't want. And people that proselytize for converts and are, in essence, breeding more converts that are bad are people that are literally breeding Amalek into the world. Breeding Amalek into the world. And such a person, the Gemara promises such a person that they will have misfortune after misfortune. They will have tragedy after tragedy. They will have difficulty after difficulty. One after another. And you see their lives are full of scandal. Full of problems. The first wife left MEZA. But that wasn't enough. She also wanted to make sure the whole world knows that she made a mistake even marrying him in the first place. So he thinks that he's so right that he didn't even want to give her a get at first. But if that's not enough, he wants to show his converts what's the right way to do things. So he continues going against the Torah, continues to live against the Torah, and he continues in his ways. Doesn't care if his new wife is modest or not. Doesn't care if he himself is acting appropriately. Doesn't care if his students keep Shabbat or not, because many times the students tell him they don't keep Shabbat, they don't keep anything. He doesn't say a single thing. Oh, it's okay. In fact, some of the students are idol worshippers. Christians worship idols, worship Yoshke. Doesn't care. He considers them as Jewish as the people he sees in his keilah. And anyone that says the opposite, he makes it seem as if he's the victim, but in reality, he's the perpetrator. We tried having a lecture to a bunch of people that actually want to hear real Torah. No, but he has to stick his nose in there. Why? Because he wants to get more footage for his lonely channel that hasn't grown in 10 years. So he wants to take footage. So he waits for me outside. And he thinks, I'm going to get some footage. Maybe he'll say something to me. Or if he doesn't, then I'll make it seem like he's so arrogant that he doesn't even talk to me. But if he does, maybe I'll put that as footage.
Shalom Aleichem. Alright, I guess that's it.
And then if we...
Oh yeah, and then with the frame over there, on the table.
Do you want one?
Is this shoe for anybody?
Yeah, it's for anyone.
Yeah. Me too.
Nothing is ever.
It's Rabbi Yaron Ruvain.
You know who I am? I don't need it.
totally fine. It's free.
Nobody gonna ask you. Money for that.
It's free. You can take it.
Oh, no.
I'll come and
The inside?
The Rob didn't
Rob
come yet.
Didn't come yet, but you can take it. It's free. You can take it.
You know, I'm ASHER MEZA.
Oh, really?
I don't think you want to have. It's weird enough. I live across the street. You know, but I'm just gonna swim by and see him. But I'll wait till he gets in.
No, I don't know the code. I'm so sorry.
To what? The code? Where's the, oh, we don't know.
You know what? I'm gonna park the bike.
If you notice, over the last 2 years, the most popular videos that he has have my name on it. But this is how much of a miserable this person is. Why? Because no normal Jew will pay attention to such a piece of garbage. No normal Jew. Why? Because this is a person that does everything dafka opposite from halacha. Everything dafka from what accepted among Am Yisrael. Because the ego is so huge that he doesn't see the sages as even something significant. He calls our sages regular people just like you and me, and you don't have to pay attention to them, especially if they're not even Tanaim. Oh, he's just an Amora in a Gemara? You don't have to really take his opinion seriously. Or they're just a Rishon. Listen, after all, it's just the Rambam's opinion. It's just the Rambam's opinion. It's just Rabbi Yosef Kawa's opinion. You don't really have to listen to the Shulchan Aruch. Hence the reason why all of the converts that he makes are not considered converts. They're not considered Jewish. They're not considered anything. You could just hear them talk, see them behave, go to the mikveh and do what they're doing. They don't even know what modesty is. Needless to say, they don't know what Judaism is, but he thinks he's doing right. Gemara promised such a person, misfortune after misfortune will follow such a person. Misfortune after misfortune will follow such a person. Why? Because you're not going with Judaism. You're not going with Hashem. You're not going with Am Yisrael, the way we have started and the way we are. You're going your own way. You're calling it Judaism, but you're going your own way. And this, Rabotai Karim, this whole proselytizing thing, that's not Da'at Torah. It's not Da'at Torah. Of course, someone that's genuine, wants to convert, we help them. We do whatever we can to help them. But someone that makes it seem as if to be a Jew is not a big deal is someone that himself does not understand what Judaism is. Furthermore, the Gemara elaborates a statement by Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi says what the Chazon Ish quoted here, which literally this page, instead of page 109b, should maybe be called MEZA, and the signs of problems. Rabbi Yossi says, whoever declares that he has only Torah, meaning that he studies Torah, but doesn't fulfill the mitzvot, which is what MEZA does many times. He says he studies and he follows what he deems correct. He goes to the Beit Knesset, he prays whatever he thinks is the right thing, and he sits there reading whatever book he can find while everybody else continues the prayer. Mamash separates himself from the tzibur, does whatever he wants, causes other people to get confused also. A person like this, you ask him, why are you doing it? Because they think they know better than everybody else.
Hi, and thank you for joining me for another short talk. Someone asked me today if Jews are allowed to dress up for Halloween. So it came to mind that it says in Masechet Sanhedrin, the 63rd daf, it says the Rav Nachman states that one is forbidden to make fun of anything except avodah zarah, idolatry, that one should make fun of idolatry. And I was thinking, what day makes fun of idolatry more than the practice we call Halloween nowadays? It's actually the day that pagans nowadays and witches and warlocks hate the most, because it makes a mockery of everything they hold dear when they see a kid dressed up like a doctor or a superhero, or even an adult, or families getting dressed up together, going out and having a good time. Now, look, I'm not saying that someone has to get dressed up on Halloween, just like I'm not saying that you have to get dressed up on Purim, because Purim is a similar story. The practice of getting dressed up on Purim was taken over 500 years ago from Christians in Italy celebrating Carnival. But Jews took it and they elevated it to a more decent level. And I think that if we wanted to, we could do the same thing with Halloween, to make a real mockery of Avodah Zorah.
Simple. They think they know everybody else. They think they know more than the Rambam. They think they know more than Rabbi Yosef Karo. They think they know more than everybody else. So therefore, they conclude everything according to themselves. They are their own rabbi. You ask him, who's your rabbi? He can't give you an answer. Why? He doesn't have a rabbi. And people like him and his students. And unfortunately, Rabotai, the reason why I mention it again is not necessarily just because this daf literally has a lot to do with him, but it also has to do with his students and his followers and the damage that he and other people that we've discussed in the past are causing in Am Yisrael. We simply cannot help ourselves but have to constantly mention it in order to warn you not to be stupid enough and listen to their channels. It's worse than poison. Recently, I have somebody that fell for the trap. 7 months straight. 7 months straight, they were listening to MEZA and some of the other apikosim that we have on our channel. Now, they're on the verge of suicide, divorce, and everything else in between. Literally. What happened? Oh, 7 months. I stopped listening to you. I started listening to some of those people that you said not to listen to. How come you did it? I don't know. Listen, I don't know. It was kind of interesting, but I said not to. What do you think I said not to for my health? Oh, I don't know. I just figured, how bad could it be? Before I know it, I'm watching it for 7 months straight. Okay, 7 months straight. Now we have to pick up the pieces that you've broken. And to fix it is very difficult. To fix it is very difficult because sometimes the lie sounds true. And sometimes the lie actually has truth in it. And therefore, the Satan traps a person that by the time the person realizes they're inside a trap, it's already too late. They've become the prey. And the Gemara elaborates and says that Rabbi Yosef says that whoever declares that he only has Torah, he studies Torah, but he doesn't fulfill the mitzvot of the Torah, meaning that he doesn't follow all of the things that the rabbi said because he doesn't necessarily agree with this, doesn't necessarily agree with that. His machzor for Yom Kippur, for the Yamim Noraim, for Yom Kippur, for Rosh Hashanah, it's only 9 pages, MEZA version. It's not 800 pages, 900 pages like the rest of Am Yisrael. It's 9 pages. Such a person, not only they do not have the mitzvot, the reward for mitzvot, because they're not fulfilling the mitzvot, but in fact, Rabbi Yosef says he doesn't even have a reward for studying Torah. Meaning even the Torah that the people listen to with MEZA and Manis Friedman and Dror Kasuto and the rest of the Reshaim on the list, even that is not considered Torah. You're not getting a reward for any of their shiurim. In fact, you get punished for them. That's what the Gemara says. Now, what about a person who says, listen, you know what? I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not going to listen to him. I'm not going to listen to anybody. I'm going to listen to myself. Rambam is my rabbi. This is what we call delusional person. Delusional person. And the Gemara talks about him too. Rav Papa says, you shall learn and you shall perform. The juxtaposition of the commandment to learn and the command to perform that teaches, meaning to learn what it says and to perform what it actually teaches. Whoever is in the category of performing the mitzvot of the Torah is also in the category of learning the mitzvot of the Torah. Meaning he's rewarded for the Torah that he learns and for the mitzvot that he performs. But whoever is not in the category of performing is not in the category of learning and does not even receive a reward for learning Torah. Meaning if this person says, listen, I'm going to learn Torah, but I'm going to paskin myself. I'm not going to double check with anybody. I'm going to simply look at what the Rambam says. I'm going to do whatever the Rambam says. But how do you know that you're interpreting what the Rambam says right? How do you know that what you think is right? How do you know? Well, I learned, so therefore I concluded the right way. The Papa says, not only you are not going to get a reward for the mitzvot that you don't do, because you're going to conclude a lot of things the wrong way, but in fact, you're not even going to get a reward for the Torah that you learn. What about the teacher? So the Gemara brings a breita. It says, whoever declares that he only has Torah, meaning the same, we're constantly extrapolating the same exact teaching. He only has Torah, meaning that he only studies Torah, but he does not fulfill the mitzvot. Only has the reward, what is it referring to this time? It's referring to somebody that teaches other people, but himself doesn't perform the mitzvot. He tells people, listen, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that, but he himself doesn't do it. So you would think, oh, but at least, even though he doesn't do it, at least he's going to get rewarded that other people are doing it, because he says, go do it. He says, keep Shabbos, and he himself doesn't keep Shabbat. So he's going to get rewarded for their Shabbat, because they're keeping it because of him. Gemara says, no. He's not going to get rewarded even for that either. If you are a hypocrite, you're not going to get rewarded. You cannot teach something you're not doing. You cannot teach something you're not doing. Now, of course, sometimes you teach something, and you yourself failed at it. But as long as you continue trying, that's considered as if you're going in the right direction. But if you have simply given up, you're teaching people to get rid of their stingy habits, but you yourself are as stingy as can be. The last time the dollar in your pocket saw the light of day, it was 1985. You're telling people to stop being angry, but you yourself are a monster. You're telling people to stop looking at heretical things or stop watching pornography, but you yourself have subscriptions to different websites. You have serious problems. Why? Because not only are you not going to get rewarded for any of your teachings, but in fact, you're assured that your teachings will not affect most people, if not anyone at all. Why? Because the Gemara says in Masechet Brachot and a few other places that a person that has Yirat Shamayim, their words get heard. Their words get heard. And you see from the audience, of each rabbi, you see from the students of each rabbi, how much Yirat Shamayim the rabbi has. Why? If the rabbi has Yirat Shamayim, you'll see that the students have Yirat Shamayim. If the rabbi has no Yirat Shamayim, you see that the students have no Yirat Shamayim. Now, last but not least, what about a person that simply wants to paskin himself, wants to be like a MEZA, wants to paskin himself, or like some of these other people out there? They want to paskin themselves, they want to elaborate things on their own. What about those people? So someone who attaches himself to the matters of Torah, meaning he does not refer to another person who has a Torah, but rather to himself, where there is a din Torah that comes to his hand. Din Torah comes to his hands, and he has seen something similar to this in the past, but not exactly the same. And he knows that in reality there's a very big difference, and he could simply call his rabbi, call a Talmid Chacham that he knows, and double check, am I right at this conclusion? But he doesn't. Why? He's stubborn, he figures, listen, it's similar enough, let me just do it. It's similar enough. So such a person will have trouble after trouble, misfortune after misfortune. Why? Because he doesn't want to confer with another Talmid Chacham. Does not want to confer with another Talmid Chacham. How are we supposed to be? As students, as teachers, as Jews, how are we supposed to behave? That's really the bottom line here. Okay, so we know we shouldn't proselytize. If somebody wants to convert, no problem. If they're genuine, we can try to do our best to help them. If we have a Yirat Shamayim, we're going to go in the right direction. We don't have Yirat Shamayim, we're not going in the right direction. What are the signs that we don't have Yirat Shamayim? Number one, we're delusional. That we think we know better than the rabbis. We think that the sages and us are not so far apart, and in fact, we may even know more than them. That's what a delusional mindset looks like. Better yet, we tell people to do things that we ourselves are not doing, not even trying. We think that we're better than everybody else. We're judging everybody else as if they're beneath us. In reality, they're considered higher than us because of our ego. But we think that they were better than them. That's another sign. Teaching people in a hypocritical nature. Further, we do not double check with a rabbi, we don't double check with other Talmidei Chachamim, and we simply conclude based on our own logic. on our own logic, these are different signs. The Gemara says, shows that this person is going to have misfortune after misfortune. How is a person supposed to be like? Comes the Gemara and says, person should always view himself as though, whether he's a judge of himself or judge of others, really it's the same. לעולם יראה דיין עצמו כאילו חרב מונחת לו בין יחותיו. Here it says dayan, in other places it says a person, meaning regardless of whether it's a person is judging himself or judging others. A judge should also always view himself as though the sword is resting between his thighs. In the Masechet Sanhedrin and also the Rambam it says on his neck, but here the Gemara gets a little scarier for some people. Why? Some people say, oh, the neck, okay, so I'm just going to die. But then you tell them, no, it's between your legs, because that's the head that you're using. Instead of using the right head, you're using the wrong head. So, the Gemara deals with you also. Speaks your language. Imagine that there's a sword resting between your thighs, and Gehenom is open beneath him. As it says in the Song of Songs, chapter 3, verses 7 and 8, behold the couch of Shlomo. Couch of Shlomo, every time it says Shlomo in Song of Songs, the tradition is that it's referring to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The couch of Shlomo is referring to the Bet HaMikdash. Behold the couch of Shlomo, meaning behold the temple. 60 mighty men, meaning judges like the Sanhedrin, are around it, of the mighty men of Israel. All of them are gripping swords, skilled in battle, meaning there's a halachic debate, each with his sword on his thigh for fear of nights. What's fear of nights? Fear of nights is referring to the fear of Gehenom, which is similar to night. Meaning, Rashi says that a judge who's unwilling to confer with other Talmidei Chachamim, people that are greater than him, to ensure that he ruled correctly, lacks the level of fear of the divine retribution required to judge. And ultimately he will issue incorrect rulings, which he will be punished in Gehenom for that. So here we see, Rabotai Yekarim, that a person that has any measure of fear of the Almighty has to act as if there is a sword on them, whether on the neck or otherwise, at any given moment. And that sword will cause them an endless amount of pain for making the wrong conclusion. Now, if a person has Yirat Shamayim and understands that this sword is a real thing, it's not just figuratively speaking, it's a real thing, there will be a real punishment if you make the wrong conclusions in your life, then that person says, you know what? What do I need this trouble for? Who cares about my ego? Let me just go ask the rabbi. Rabbi, there is a wedding. It's my brother. He wants to marry somebody else. The girl's not Jewish. Can I go? I know she's not Jewish, but they're having it at a Reform shul. Can I go? No. Yeah, but then they're going to be offended. Let them be offended. Yeah, but then my parents won't talk to me. Let them not talk to you. Can I just go to the reception? No. It's an Orthodox wedding. She's Orthodox, he's Orthodox, but they're going to act unorthodox. What? They're going to dance. Girls and boys are going to dance at the wedding. Can I go to the wedding? No. Can I just go to the reception to see the ketubah being given, being read, and so on? No. Why? Wherever Hashem is not, you're not allowed either. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't go to such weddings. Yeah, but Rabbi, I'm going to have problems as a result of this. You'll have much more problems if you don't listen to this. And so on and so forth. There are all types of questions that are not so simple because they have a lot to do with emotions, they have a lot to do with family, they have a lot to do with a lot of different things. And reading the Shulchan Aruch or reading the Rambam typically is not going to give you the clear answer, because the rules were given, but not all the specifics. In order to get the specifics, you need a Talmid Chacham. And even if you are a Talmid Chacham, you still need to check with another Talmid Chacham. Especially if it's your rabbi. Especially if it's your rabbi. Now, a person that does not have anybody that they view as a rabbi, needless to say, they don't even view the sages as rabbis. They don't view anyone as superior to them, is a person that lacks Shirat Shamayim. Now, if you say, listen, this person is doing all the things wrong and he doesn't feel anything about it. What does that mean? Simple. It means that the Satan already chopped off his head. If you have Yirat Shamayim, that means you feel like the Satan is on top of your head with a sword and he's about to chop your head. If you don't feel it, that means he already chopped your head. How come I don't feel it? Because you're focusing on the wrong things. What is that like? It's like a person that tells you, listen, ask me any question in math, I know the answer. Okay, fine. What's 6 times 6? 59. No, that's wrong. No, come on, ask. Okay, what's 5 times 5? 70. No, it's not 70 either, it's 25. No, come on, keep asking. Okay, what's 30 times 30? 36. Listen, I don't know. What kind of calculator are you using? No, keep asking. Go fast. Okay, what's 500 times 12? 3. No, you're getting all the answers. But didn't I answer really fast though? Come on, forget about the answer. Didn't I answer really fast though? Aren't you impressed? That's a crazy person, right? That's a person with no Yirat Shamayim. That's a person with no Yirat Shamayim. A crazy person. A person that's not scared of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a crazy person. Even more so, a person that teaches without Yirat Shamayim is simply a person that is a danger to society. Not only a danger to himself or herself, but a danger to society. Simply because they do not understand the ramifications of their actions, not just on themselves, but on any one of their viewers, any one of their people that are in their audience. A person that converts people blindly, without a care in the world about what the halacha is a person that is a danger to society, a danger to the Jewish world. And unfortunately, a person that does all of these things for some type of ego battle or some type of monetary gain is a very, very sick person. And in fact, a danger to the community. Now, of course, we can't stop all the bad guys, but it's up to you to notice who they are and run for your lives when you see them. Don't try to debate them. Don't try to discuss anything with them, because it will be to no avail. Some people have tried before you and failed, and some simply say there's really no reason to do so. Why? Because the Torah tells us, the Gemara tells us, if there's an apikoros, you have to learn Torah in order to deal with an apikoros, with the heretic. But only if the apikoros is a non-Jew. You have to know how to debate a non-Jew. But to debate a Jew, don't even debate him. Why? It's to know it's not going to be to any hope. If the apikoros is a Jew, do not debate him. Now, of course, the heretics want debates, whether it's one for Israel, Imach Shema V'zichram, or it's the rest of the clowns that are on the list. But you, Rabotai Yekarim, have to be smarter than that. You have to realize that you have too much work to do. To serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, there's no time to debate these people, not in writing and not in speech, not in their shuls and not in their shows. And a person that wastes their time trying to prove a bunch of people wrong is simply a person that's forgetting their own obligation. In fact, is infected with the venom of the bad people before they even realize it's in them. And sometimes, by the time they realize it's in them, it's in fact too late, because there's already a divorce in play, there's already a entire life gone upside down. I've told you guys stories before where I've had people that didn't listen and went to Dror Kasuto, only to come back after Dror Kasuto's advice caused them a divorce. Same exact thing happened with Manis Friedman. People didn't listen, they went to Manis Friedman, divorce. Divorce. Same thing happened with MEZA recently. Divorce. these people break more homes than burglars. But people don't want to listen. They want to be heroes. They think that there's some type of an agenda here. They think that we're saying it because we want to be more popular. It's the most ludicrous thing in the world. There is Torah, and we're here to learn it. You want to go learn from heretics? Suit yourself. But know that the damage is going to be unquantifiable. And by the time you realize it, it will be too late. It will be too late. And I've seen it time and time again. Time and time again, that these people literally break houses, break homes, break lives. Destruction is unprecedented. Hence the reason why I keep mentioning them. In almost every other shiur, I mention at least one of these Reshaim in a lecture. It's not because I keep watching their videos. I've watched enough to know they're heretics. But rather because the damage continues to come in. The ramifications, the victims. Literally, there are spiritual bodies everywhere. And they call me for help. Most of the time, there's not much to do. Why? Because the people that have their poison in them are almost unrecoverable. You can't fix them. You tell the guy, listen, stop listening to bad things. All right. A day later, Rabbi, you know that such and such said this, but didn't we just discuss yesterday not to listen to it? Yeah, no, but it, was recommended and somebody sent it to me. I can't help you. I can't help you. You're too infected, addicted. It's a crack. Can't help you. Or the drug in Seattle that they have over there. So potent that in order to get off that drug that's killing people by the day, to give people heroin as a recovery. Rabotai Yekirim, you have to protect your neshamot a lot more than you do. Protect your neshamot from these bad people. Why? Because they cause a lot of bad things. And the signs that people are bad is simple. Like we learned. They do things against the Chachamim. They think that they are greater than the Chachamim.
אני מברך את הרבנים, רגע. אני מברך את הרבנים, הרב ירון ראובן, הרב אפרים כחלון, ראשי ארגון בעזרת השם, שהלכו בפי עליון, שעלו מעלה, יהיה להם ברכה והצלחה, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא בישועות ליבם לטובה ולברכה, שבכל מה שיפנו ישכילו ויצליחו, יזכו לעשות כאלה וכאלה, הרדיעו תורה לאדירה, אמן ואמן.
בעזרת השם רשת בכל הארץ. הוא היהודי הזה, הוא היה מיליונר, סגר את כל הביזנס, אמר אני משקיע פה בעולמה של תורה.
איפה הוא גר?
בפלורידה.
פלורידה, איפה זה פלורידה? באמריקה.
במיימי, כן, ליד. אנחנו שם עכשיו הולכים להקים קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
תעבירו לו מה שבירכתי אותו.
כן, קהילה ספרדית גדולה.